Anybody watching this? All right, so I just had the video premiere for my Circles video, the new single from the upcoming album. Now there's 2 people watching. Hey, you two. So what I didn't know, I thought we premiere that video, and then I have the comment section, right? Hey, Alessio, Lorenzo, whoever of you, both maybe, hello. And I thought I can answer some questions and do these things. And then we had like a 1-minute introduction video from YouTube with a countdown, which was extremely funny because everybody thought that's the video. No, that's not the video. And then I thought I'm going to be chatting. I'm actually in the car right now because I'm on a road trip, and I stopped at a gas station. Right there, gas station. And come on, magnet, hold this phone. And so I was getting ready, got my tea out, and got some food, and I thought I'm gonna chat with everyone and answer a lot of questions. But then YouTube decided, like a minute after the video was streamed for the first time ever, yay, YouTube decided to end the chat. So now I'm here. Hey, thank you so much. Now I'm actually looking at your comments. Kannst du das nochmal schreiben? Kann ich das noch lesen hier? Wait a minute. Chat viewing options. Sorry, I'm so new to this. Live chat. All messages are available. Blah, 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 blah. Welcome to chat. Yes. Okay. I'm sitting in a rental car. It's a hybrid. Actually, I was even looking for a power outlet to charge the car while I'm doing that live stream here. But now you're 8 people watching. This is fun. So there were some questions. Kann das auch in Deutsch machen? Fehlt auch manchmal so. Hi, Mike Smith. Yeah, anyways, I was preparing to sit here on the gas station for like a half an hour or an hour answering all your questions until YouTube decided that the live chat is only going as long as the video, maybe 2 minutes longer. And then I realized, of course, this is what happens when I do my Alone Together live streams too. The live chat is only going as long as the stream is going, right? Okay, du fragst auf Deutsch. Hallo Amir. Frag du auf Deutsch, ich antworte auf Englisch. Dann übersetze ich die Frage auch noch in Englisch. Because I want to speak a little English, so I don't want to exclude as little people as possible. But if the English is not really what you understand. Hi Pablo. Wie lange hat die Produktion gedauert? Chris, servus. Find's immer wieder toll, euch alle zu sehen. Das kann man gar nicht so sagen. Also, lustigerweise den Track, den ihr gerade gehört habt, ich habe mit dem Ralf Hildenbeutel angefangen, dieses Album zu machen. Und der Tee ist gerade ausgelaufen. Ich habe mit dem Ralf Hildenbeutel angefangen, dieses Album zu machen im Januar 2019. Und wir haben uns so sporadisch getroffen. Und das Instrumental zu diesem Track Circles war der erste Instrumental, der fertig war. Und das war innerhalb von 6 Stunden erledigt, eigentlich. Ja, und dann, ein Jahr später, habe ich den Tom Adams getroffen. Und in der Zwischenzeit war der Daniel Miller bei uns im Studio und hat immer noch ein paar Sachen dazu gemacht. Und dann hat der Tom seine Sachen drauf gesungen. Und dann ging es nochmal ein Jahr lang mixen und alles feintunen. Im Grunde genommen war die Produktion 2 Jahre, aber nicht zusammenhängend. Also das war einfach auseinanderhängend. The question was, how long did the production take for this video? Let me quickly for the single. Let me quickly explain that to you. The whole production of that album. So some of you might know that I've released an album called Burn Slow on Mute Records. Gave me a little bit the history of Mute Records. Mute Records is a 40-year-old label, for those who don't know. And it was started and is still owned by Mr. Daniel Miller, a complete legend in the game, in the history of music, actually. Daniel Miller discovered Depeche Mode, for example. And when I got together with my friend Ralf Hildenbeutel, who actually brought me into techno with his early releases on IQ and Hard House. Ralf Hildenbeutel is a legendary producer from Frankfurt who produced like the first 3 or 4 albums of Sven Feth, and was one of the main 3 producers behind the IQ label in the early mid 90s till the end of the 90s about. That's how I got to techno, actually, listening to him. So I know him for, I don't know, 25 years now. And when I got the idea to make a little bit more music, yeah, I'm not a musician. I asked Ralf about like 6 years ago, Ralf, do you want to work with me in the studio? I really need a real musician to make music. Yeah, I'm kind of like saying hi to everyone and who I see in the chat. And I explain you a little bit more about the whole album and about that single in particular. So the Burn Slow album came into being when I worked with Ralf for like a year in the studio, but we only had like maybe 15 to 20 studio days in that year, which was around 2016, 2017. And at the same time, because I used to release on Nova Mute, which was a sub-label of Mute, I already was in touch with Daniel Miller quite a bit, and we became more and more friends, and we exchanged a lot of music. We've been doing back-to-back sets with each other, and then I started to explain to him like, hey, I'm doing that different kind of music than techno music with my friend Ralf Hildenbeutel. Sorry, half of my head is gone because this stupid magnet is not holding up. Maybe I put my, put that thing there. That's too big. Maybe this works. Look at that. No, it doesn't really work. Sorry, I'm like really improvising here. That works. What is this here? That's weird. Is that the light? Oh, no, it's still there. Maybe with light it's better. Yeah, Earth Nation. Early 90s in the Omen. Earth Nation was also Ralf Hildenbeutel. One of my super favorite tracks of Earth Nation is called Alienated. Check this one out. I'm mentioning that because Alienated was one of the inspirations actually for the Circle tracks. And I explained to you why. So to come back to how the connection with Daniel Miller and Mute came about, I explained to Daniel, hey, I'm making more music with Ralf, which is more musical, and it's kind of like with vocal lists and stuff like this. And Daniel actually liked it, and it turned out that he released the album on Mute, which I'm still pinching myself because that's the label I grew up with, and that kind of formed my idea of music. So Daniel is basically the person who formed my idea of music. If you look at the label, of the catalog of the label Mute, you'll find like so many incredible things, not only Depeche Mode, you find Nick Cave, you find Yazoo, you find Erasure, Fat Gadget, of course, and it started with The Normal, and The Normal is actually Daniel himself, which was first release, The Normal, Warm Leatherette, and TVOD. It was just a single he wanted to put out, and it's an incredible story, and the distribution back in the day, it was I think around 79 when he started that, maybe earlier 78, and the distribution company Rough Trade was telling him like, yeah, where do you want to put it out? And he's like, I don't know, like let's create your own label. And this is how Mute started, a whole different story. Anyways, and then Burn Slow was released, and in 2019 I asked Ralf like, let's do another label and then let's do another album. And so in January 2019 we met for the first time in a studio, and I would say we're very productive and efficient producers in the studio together. So each track on that album, like the bases, the foundation of each track, took just like 6-7 hours on one studio day. Obviously, working on those tracks, getting the vocals on it, getting everything mixed right, takes a lot longer. But in 2019 was basically the phase where all the instrumentals were done. And the Circles track, if you listen to it closely, has this sort of a vocal sample. It's a female vocal sample which is cut up And if you listen to Earth Nations Alienated, that's actually where I asked Ralf, like, we got to do something similar in this track. So for each track on the Another Day album, the instrumentals were done. Yeah, Nachtwerkclub. Yay! It was also good. Yeah, for each track was the instrumentals versions were done. And in December 2019, Daniel Miller himself decided to come to Frankfurt to join Ralf and myself in the studio, and he brought his modular setup. And no, I'm just actually crossed the border to Germany because I'm just driving back to Frankfurt for a day. I have to do some stuff there, and then I drive back to Switzerland. It's my route. And so Daniel came to Frankfurt, brought his modular setup, and he said, like, we need a little bit more edge on these instrumentals. And that's what he brought on there. And I mean, Daniel is a legend. He's just so cool. Such a humble guy. It's amazing. Let me drink some tea. Gibt es eine TLR-Demo-E-Mail-Adresse? Nee, die gibt's nicht. Lorsch Parkplatz? Nee, Lorsch bin ich auch nicht. So weit bin ich noch nicht gekommen. Nein, Schwarztee. Chai, Schwarztee. Sehr, sehr lecker. Frisch gekocht. 2005 Mayday Poland. Yes, I'm actually going to be back in Mayday Poland. Chuki Chai. Hi, Roland. I'm actually going to be back Mayday Poland, which is crazy this time because I'm actually in the States when the Mayday Poland is happening, and I have to fly back in order to play Mayday Poland and then fly back again. I know. It's sometimes weird. Anyways. Album release date is November 19th. So then in February 2020, just before the pandemic started, Daniel Miller introduced me to Tom Adams, who is the vocalist on that Circle video. Actually, I think you can click the link on the video. And I met Tom in Berlin, where at that time he had his studio. Now I spilled the tea. And always have enough kitchen towels in your car, right? So I met Tom in his studio in February 2020. We kind of already heard about a virus going around then, and we were like in Berlin, like, what is going on here? So I met Tom in his studio, and I played him all sorts of instrumentals. I mean, not all sorts. We only had 10 instrumentals, really. That was the album, and then he picked 2 tracks, and that was the very first track we did in January 2019, which was, let's guess the track title, the working track title. It was called Track A 2019. That's how creative we were. Yeah, the album was... No, it wasn't. The album was completely done on an instrumental level before the pandemic started. And then Tom was the first vocalist I met up with to play him. And then he chose these 2 tracks. I kind of like gave them to him, kind of chose him. And Circles is the first one he chose. And then there's another one called Hollow Town, which you will be able to hear when the album comes out. And that is, yes, ich spiele wieder in Frankfurt, und zwar am 10. Dezember im Freud Club. Das ist übrigens mein Geburtstag. So I'm telling you the story while I'm answering questions in the chat, in case you're watching that at some point. Yes, Chris? Ja, was? Amir? Ja, cool. In case you're watching this video and you're wondering, what the fuck is he talking about? Yeah, you should all come. So, yeah, Tom did the vocals on 2 tracks. And the other track is called Hollow Town. And he was just, 2 days later, he called me up and said, like, come to the studio. I already made some sketches. And I went to his studio and he just recorded some vocals, not the final lyrics, on top of those tracks. And I was like, wow, Warm Leather Red. And it was like, wow, this is amazing. This is different to anything I've really done before. But then again, it's not only me who does this with the album. First and foremost, there's Ralf Hildenbeutel. Without him, there would not be any musical elements in this album. And the sound design would be completely different. Ralf is just such a genius in the studio. And I'm so fucking happy that he is actually working with me. And then you have the addition of Daniel Miller coming in and is take this a notch up. And then you have vocalists like Tom Adams coming in and taking this all to another level. So you can see I didn't even like do much on this album. I was just leaning back and let everybody work. It kind of even feels weird that my name is in front of this. There should be a lot of other names in front of this. Ja, ich bin in Freud, 10. Dezember. Spiele, glaube ich, I play in Frankfurt again. I play in Frankfurt. That's why some people are asking. Yeah, I'm in the car. Yeah. Let me explain to you again why I'm in the car. So at 10 o'clock today, European Standard Time, we had the... That's where I'm looking all the time. We had the video premiere of this video here, Circles with Tom Adams at 10. But I was on my way back to Frankfurt from Switzerland, so I had to stop, obviously, here at a gas station to do the live chat and answer questions. And I was preparing that with tea and everything. There's people parking close to me. What's going on here? Why are you parking there? That is not a parking spot. Anyways, so I was preparing to long live chat in the chat while the video premiere was going. Check out the video premiere, and then the live chat was over, and then I decided to just go live online. And by now there's 34 people watching, which is cool. Give me all the thumbs up. What are you usually YouTube people are saying, like, hit the subscribe button. Gästeliste geht klar. Gästeliste für alle, die hier im Chat sind. Kann ich jetzt leider nicht versprechen. Time Warp 22, of course I play Time Warp 22. Yeah. Yeah, so that was the story with Tom. If you missed that, you just rewind this video and you hear me talking again, sitting in the car. Now you know why I'm sitting in the car, because I was just on the way. I couldn't do anything else. And then the chat was over, and that's why I spontaneously decided, since I'm standing here, I have my chai black tea. I thought I'm just gonna go live. So ask me some questions here. Ask me some questions. Give me some comments. I'm reading your comments right there. That's where I read your comments. Kannst du den Q&A auf Deutsch machen? Hallo, ich kann auch auf Deutsch reden. Ja, aber dann verstehen mich vielleicht viele auf Englisch nicht. Aber du kannst mir gerne eine deutsche Frage stellen. When I'm coming to the UK, I don't know. Did you feel any pressure about making what music club friendly, or did you just go whatever comes through? I'm just doing whatever the fuck I want to do. Seriously. That's why I'm doing an album like this. That's why I'm releasing a single like Circles. And I'm sure some people might be like, what's that? But listen to the whole album and listen to this track on repeat. It's like you're gonna get it. There's a certain kind of beat behind it. That's what we need. Best vegan restaurant in Frankfurt am Main. Kuli Alma. Check that. When will be the next live stream? I don't know. I do those things spontaneous. I will find out. The next 2 weeks I'm not gonna be doing much because I'm gonna be with my daughters. Kisses back to Venezuela, who have school break, and I'm gonna spend some time with them. But I'm gonna be in Amsterdam playing at ADE on next Saturday. When is the next? What? When is the next? Where did the comments go? Here they are. When is the next DJs and Beers? We're gonna have a DJs and Beers reunion, guys. Wir machen eine neue DJs and Beers. Eine Reunion ist geplant für den 2. Dezember. 2nd of December. Wir machen die Profis ist im Studio. Jammen einfach drauf los, oder gibt es ein Skript? Gibt kein Skript. How do you do this in the studio is the question. Like, do you have an idea in your head? You come into the studio with sort of an idea, but you have to be ready to let go of that idea as soon as something else comes up. I think there's a million ways of how you produce music. What was the best moment of your DJ career? Right now. Yeah, honestly, it's the DJ gigs are just absolutely fantastic that I've been playing after the pandemic. So that's been good. I've noticed that a few of the most prominent Model 1 DJs have moved to the Pioneer. How come? Is this a small break before Model 2 comes out? You know, it could be a small break before the Model 2 comes out, but there's another thing. You know, with the Model 1, I was actually having to carry around a big fat ass sound card, and travel restrictions are not that easy anymore. So, or they're getting harder. And I really looked at the V10, like, and I've never been a fan of Pioneer, but the V10 mixer is just a monster. It sounds so good. It has all the functions that I want, and I just have to plug in my USB cable for my computer, and I can go. So that's, you know, and it's pretty safe, it's stable, and I'm using additionally CDJs now, so it's a whole new way of playing, but I really, really love this because it gives me a little bit back the feeling of like mixing in CDJs into my tractor. It's pretty cool. Spielst du noch manchmal, wow, how does that work with those comments here? Spielst du noch manchmal mit Vinyl und wird es Vinyl auf CLR geben? Momentan ist kein Vinyl auf CLR geplant und mit Vinyl spiele ich schon lange nicht mehr. Manchmal musst du auch ein bisschen nach vorne denken. Wir machen ja immer noch Techno und Vinyl ist, ehrlich gesagt, es ist schön für zu Hause auflegen, aber ich finde, es macht überhaupt keinen Sinn mehr in irgendeinem Club. Der Sound ist wie soll man sagen, nicht komprimiert, aber gibt immer Probleme. Es rattelt, es shuttelt und sonst was. Make one already together day 1 November for my birthday. I can't do a live stream in November. I'm going to be mostly in the US in November. That's me next to you in the car? No, there's no one sitting there anymore. Somebody just parked next to me. There's not even a parking spot. He's like in the way of everyone. Like there's people trying to get gas, dude. Weird. Any other questions? Tourdaten scheint nicht, nee, Facebook-Tourdaten sind nicht vollständig. Nee, das ist auch schwierig. Momentan die Tourdaten, die kommen und gehen und kommen und gehen. Es ist immer noch so viel Abwechslung drin. Ne? Bist du komplett in die Schweiz ausgewandert? Noch nicht komplett, aber bald. Ich wohne immer noch teilweise in Frankfurt. Vinyl ist gut, um Auflegen zu lernen, aber du kannst auch mit CDJs auflegen lernen. Finde ich. Die denken, du verkaufst was. Ich? Kann auch sein. So, die Fenster sind unten. Kann man Tee trinken. The construction of my studio actually is halted because the pandemic gave me a whole new idea of how to work. So the pandemic forced me to work on a really basic studio setup level, and I realized that's really awesome. Actually, limitation sometimes is the key. You don't really need big fancy ass studios. So the studio which I started to build is still the streaming studio, where you see the PMC MB2s behind me in my Alone Together streams, and I'm not entirely sure if I'm ever going to finish that studio. If I'm just not. I maybe rather build a studio in Switzerland, I think. Now, the pandemic changed a lot. My question, how did you do what? You have to finish your question. Question. Where are you playing in the US in November? I'm there. Okay, I'm going to be playing in November in the US. I'm going to be playing on 30th of October on Halloween. I'm going to be in Detroit. On the day before, I think I'm going to be in Las Vegas. And on the Thursday before, I'm going to be in San Diego. And then I'm going to be in Miami on the following Saturday. And then I'm going to be in Brooklyn on the following Friday together with Nicole Mudaba, which I think is November 17th or something. And then I'm going to be in Toronto on November 18th. 19th? I don't know. No, 19th. November 19th is actually the release of the album. Right? Hi Chris, loving the Sigmata loops from the Corona workshop last year. All the best and looking forward. Yeah, that was really good. 28th of October, San Diego. 29th of October, Las Vegas. Am I still here? Sorry. Roland, you cannot send me WhatsApp messages while I'm live streaming. I cannot read this. Sorry. Roland is trying to help me out, sending me my dates via WhatsApp, but I can't read it. Maybe I can look at it in my car? No, that doesn't work. Was ist es für ein Gefühl, vor 100.000 ravenden Fans richtig geil abzufeiern, Spaß zu haben? Du hast nicht wirklich das Gefühl, dass da 100.000 Leute stehen oder Hunderte schreibst du. Du fühlst eine gewisse Energie und das ist natürlich eine tolle Sache, das ist ganz toll, aber das Gemeinschaftliche ist das Tolle. Es ist jetzt nicht so, dass ich da stehe und denke mir so, oh, ich bin's, ich hab's voll drauf hier. Nee, das Schöne ist, dass wir gemeinsam ja feiern. Das finde ich auch das Tolle sogar bei unseren Streams. Ich freue mich so über eure Anteilnahme in den Chats. Yeah, nice Halloween party in Detroit with my Paxahau crew who also do the Movement Festival. Do you ever see yourself stopping traveling, DJing, just chilling, or you're going to keep on going until the wheels fall off? Yes, I'll keep on going. I think I'll keep going until the wheel falls off. This break that we had all 1.5 years was a good break. And I have my breaks in the meantime. And now I have even better breaks in Switzerland. Yes, I'm moving out of Germany soon to Switzerland. That's actually kind of the plan. And I don't see myself retiring. Why would I? It's so much fun to DJ and to make music. It's not something that you make in order to make a living, really. It's great that you can make a living with it. We need an underground party with you and drum still in Los Angeles, like old times. Regardless, see you in Las Vegas. See you in Las Vegas. That's a good thing. Yeah, I'm going to be in LA actually, but there's not a party happening when I'm there. Traveler, you want Weaver EHR mix. How you did that. That was together with my good old friend Andre Walter, who I did all the Stigmata records together with, you know. I'm always sometimes a very happy collaborator. I do my things on my own as well, but sometimes it's a lot of fun to work with others in the studio. Bist du vor einem Gig aufgeregt oder hast du heute mit langer Erfahrung kein Lampenfieber? Lampenfieber nicht mehr wirklich, nee. Lampenfieber hat man nicht wirklich. Question is if you're like still like a little bit overexcited before a gig. You're excited, that's a good thing, but in a good way. It's not like stage fright. Stage fright, is that what you call it? No, you don't have that. Because it's the thing that I do. It's like, it's what I do. It's if I would be a little bit afraid of what I'm doing, then I shouldn't be doing it, right? Hello. Buzz Lightyear. Gute Nacht, schlaf gut. Also 10.12. und ich grüße den Ralf. 10.12., 10th of December. I am going to be playing in Frankfurt. It's my birthday. Anyways, what's your longest set ever? You know, I'm not really a long set player, but my longest set ever was at Berghain. It was 16 hours, which was just absolutely awesome. I love this place, and I hope I'm going to be able to play there very soon again. They're opened up again. Chris, is there a deeper metaphysical aspect to your new music you've been making? Burn Slow seems to have many symbolic, metaphysical undertones. You're totally right. It's not really, let's say, all that intentional, but I think on an unintentional level, yeah, there's a lot of undertones. You're right. The new one has, if you want to call it an undertone, I do whatever comes out of the moment. And sometimes the moment is just so spectacular. Not sometimes, always. Wie viel Höhenmeter fährst du so zusammen am Tag? Mit dem Fahrrad? Jeden Tag, ich mache mindestens am Tag meine 1000 Meter eigentlich, aber mit dem E-Bike, ne? E-Bike hoch, aber die Leute lachen über E-Bike, aber du hast nur eine Unterstützung und runter, das geht ja auch ums Runterfahren mit dem Mountainbike, ja? Alles klar, 10.12. Frankfurt. Schöne Grüße zurück aus Saarland. Nee, die Berge sind da super und ich bin Skifahrer seit 75 Jahren ungefähr. Oder mein Opa war schon Skifahrer, ich glaube, das zählt auch noch dazu. Und ich liebe die Berge und ich habe mir dann in der Pandemie gedacht, warum wohne ich da nicht einfach? Macht Sinn, oder? Manchmal braucht man irgendwie einen Break, um das herauszufinden. When you DJ, I guess you only really get to hear the monitors up in the DJ booth. Do you ever go down to listen to the main PA system? If so, what was the best sound system you've ever heard? Yeah, sometimes I get to go down because I really need to get an idea of how it sounds. And you can't do this during sound check because it's different when people are there. Probably one of the best sounds I've experienced and the most time I've spent on a dance floor was at Output Club in Brooklyn. I literally went down there sometimes, put on an 8-minute track, and I was just with the people for like 6 minutes until I had to go back up. Any chance of more DJs and beers? We're going to do another DJs and beers reunion December 2nd, Thursday. Do you have plans to do any more production streams? The stream you did for Beatport was really fun to see. Thank you so much. You can still see the Beatport production stream on my YouTube channel. It's a 6-hour thing, and I basically made that one track in those 6 hours, which is on my CLR release, which is going to come out soon publicly on Beatport as well. Ja. Was bedeutet CLR für dich? CLR ist eine Plattform für mich, wo ich mich austoben kann und wo ich echt so viel Spaß dran habe, neue Produzenten zu entdecken und denen eine Plattform zu geben und auch mit denen zusammenzuarbeiten. Von denen lerne ich, die lernen von mir. Macht einfach Spaß, ein Label zu machen. Das ist einfach schön und ich habe das viel zu lange auf Eis gelegt. Aber jetzt finde ich es schon wieder... Ami, du hast auch ein E-Mountainbike. Das finde ich gut. Dann weißt du, von wann ich rede. Ja. Wann kommt die CLR von Jean und Herz? Lustigerweise auch am 10. Dezember. Everything happens on 10th of December. It's my birthday, it's a party in Frankfurt, and the next CLR with Hertz Collision and Jean Richards Jr. called Must Do It is going to come out on CLR. The live streams you did alone together really helped during the pandemic, and I wanted to thank you very much for doing them. Actually, they helped me as well, so thank you for tuning them in. It's, it goes both ways, as you can see. Any experience with a K2 sound card for professional gigs? Love the mobility, but I'm not sure if it sounds good enough. I only use the K2 sound cards if I really needed it. Now the guy is back who parked next to me for whatever reason. If it's an exit strategy, if any other sound card is not working, it's not a good sound card in the K2, honestly. It's maybe for at home, it's fine, but I would not really use it at a gig. Again, the Pioneer V10 mixer blew my mind. It has 2 sound cards in there, and they're both absolutely incredible. That mixer is purely digital, but it sounds incredible. I made so many tests with that. Believe me, I'm a really sound fanatic. Wie verstehst du dich mit Frank Lauber und Toni Rios? Sehr gut. Toni ist immer noch ein alter Kumpel von mir. Und den Frank, dem laufe ich manchmal in Frankfurt über den Weg. Und da läuft alles schön. Hat sich was verändert in der Szene, also beim Feiern? Ach du, klar, durch die Technik. Gerade letztens mich mit jemandem unterhalten. Weißt du, in den 90ern war das wirklich noch so, oben, da lief keiner mit dem Telefon rum, keiner hat eine Nachricht geschrieben. Leute, die sind zusammen dahin, die blieben da zusammen, weil sich keiner mehr verlieren konnte, weil sonst hast du den nicht mehr gefunden. Und das war ein ganz anderes Gefühl, das hast du halt, Leute, leider nicht mehr. Could you tell us about an experience from Tresor Club Berlin that still haunts you in a good way? Obviously. My first ever gig in Tresor Club was in the basement, playing there till 11 in the morning at a Love Parade. I think it was Love Parade 96. And I walked out at 11 in the morning. I think I told that story in some documentary that there is. We call it Techno or something like that. It's on YouTube. And I walked out at 10 in the morning, looked at the sun, and at that moment I was like, I think I just got... I said I understood techno, but you never really understand techno. But I got a glimpse of what techno is in that moment. I was like, wow. Like, that was one of its kind. Omen Club and Tresor Club. Wie lange bist du schon vegan? Ich seit 2014. Weiter so, Sebastian. Ich bin jetzt seit ungefähr 2010, 2011 vegan. Also jetzt schon seit 12 Jahren. The question was how long I'm vegan for. I'm like vegan for like almost 12 years now. Spielst du eigentlich lieber in kleinen Clubs oder auf großen Bühnen und richtest du dich an das Set danach aus? Oder kannst du uns gerne mal den Unterschied für dich erklären? Ja, das Tolle ist, dass du beides spielst. Ich würde nie mich entscheiden wollen. Beides hat was für sich. Große Clubs haben eine riesen Energie, kleine Clubs haben die Intimität. Alles mittendrin hat so eine Mischung aus beiden. Alles hat was für sich. Und das Tolle ist, dass man als DJ beides machen kann. Und ich habe keinen Favoriten daraus. Die Trackauswahl, die kommt ehrlich gesagt immer relativ spontan, aber du weißt natürlich, wenn es eine große Crowd ist, dass du ein bisschen mehr Gas geben musst, um alle Leute einzufangen. Wenn du eine kleinere Crowd hast, kannst du ein bisschen experimenteller sein. The question was if I rather play on big stages or small clubs, and I love to do both because it's the great mix, and that's the great thing as a DJ. You can play in big stages, which has a lot of energy, and then you play in a small club, which has a lot of nice intimacy. Intimacy? I should drink my tea. Try some chai tea, it's really good. And you know, after 40 minutes I'm going to stop this because I really need to get going back to Frankfurt. But it's really fun. We should do this more often. Wieso bist du nicht bei Cocoon Recordings? I was never really at Cocoon Recordings. I was once at Cocoon Booking, but I left Cocoon Bookings 20 years ago. And it's not a personal question. I don't really have any too personal questions that you can... How long do I play at Freud Club in December? At least 6 hours, actually. Is it possible to bring that back, what techno is? It's still here. We don't really need to bring back. How many tattoos do you have? Wie viele Tattoos hast du? One big one. I don't know. It's kind of not possible to count. They're all kind of, you know, where does it start? Where does it end? I don't know. Yeah, so it's been fun. Everybody who's watching, thank you so much. I'm sorry that the video premiere, maybe some of you missed the video premiere. There's even more people next to me now. Maybe some of you missed the video premiere. Go and check out the Circles video, which was premiered tonight at 10, which was when? What's the time? I don't know. An hour ago. So check out that. And have a safe drive. Thank you, I will. And yeah, that's why I'm sitting here in the car. Because I wanted to chat with you guys. Do not forget to check out that single and that video. I'm really, really, really fucking proud of that. And also, don't forget the album release of Another Day will be November 19th. And I'm super, 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 super happy about that. The new song is awesome. Thank you so much for the thumbs up. You know, I love it that you guys are so open-minded, because honestly, about 15 years ago, if you released something a little bit different than you would techno, you would just get rotten fruit thrown at you. What are you doing? You know, but you know, there's so much music to explore, and I'm just trying to explore more and more, you know. And wir werden alle älter. we all get older. That's true. All right, peace, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in on such a spontaneous level. I didn't plan to do this, as you can see. I'm sitting in this car and drinking my tea. I'm gonna get some gas now, and then I'm gonna shoot off back to Frankfurt. For those people who might be in Amsterdam next weekend, I'm going to be playing 2 gigs there. And I'll try just to post all my dates somewhere in the internet, right? Oh ja, manche haben Mist rausgebracht. Deine Singles sind super. Danke. Danke, Amir. And a really special big thanks goes out to all of you who I see here in the chat. Who always are following also the live streams of Loud Together. The guy is leaving now. Now I can go and get gas. All right, guys. That's it for this one. There's a lot of music out there. New singles. 4 of them are released now for the Another Day album. So check them out, and then you get kind of an idea of what the album is about. So thanks again. I'll see you somewhere on the dance floor. And good night.